Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dickulous Show. I've already renamed it Objectively Ruby. So I'm here today with my special guest and my sister for almost 20 years, the fabulous Porsche, and she's going to join us here shortly.
Welcome the mouth of the South, Ruby Dickulous.
Hello. Hi, Porsche.
Hi. How are you, Ruby?
I'm so good. How are you?
Good. It's nice to see you on this fourth Saturday or whatever it is.
I know. What month are we in?
Barely March.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I just had a birthday. I forgot.
Oh, happy birthday.
I'm already having mental decline at
No,
44.
you're not that old.
Okay. Well, they say that during 44 and 60, you have these huge age bursts. And I keep looking in the mirror every week, and it's getting like rapidly quicker. And I just turned 44 a couple days ago. And then I realized it's just my Botox wearing off.
Oh, well, see, that's easily fixable.
It is.
Either that or just step further away from the mirror and you're prettier.
Not in this economy, though. We're going to have to go back to the old tape tricks.
Oh, the tape trick.
Yeah, and some Vaseline on the lens.
Yeah. Or in the words of Bianca Lee, shoot that bitch through a bedspread.
There
I
you
know.
go.
Mhm.
Well, I've done a few things through a bedspread.
I bet you have.
I always try to meet these guys, and then this one guy finally told me, he's like, why don't you just put up a sheet with a hole in it like the other girls? And I was like, I've been getting a drag to meet you this whole time, and the other girls are just putting up sheets with holes in them?
Like
God.
a ghost.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, my Lord. It's so good to see you.
it's good to see you too.
Yeah.
I know you're an Austin native.
I am.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you've been in New York for over 20 years.
Yes, since 97.
97.
Yes, talking about aging yourself. Yes, 97.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And-
I didn't start drag right then, but yeah.
yeah, not right away. Because you moved. Why did you move to New York?
College.
College. And you were
Yes.
studying.
I was studying fashion design at Pratt Institute, and I am not using my degree.
But you did. You actually taught
Ish.
me my silhouette.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Portia is the closest thing to a drag bomb. Well, I think I expected a Texas drag mother and a New York drag mother. That's a whole other thing. That's pose.
I guess. Yeah, in its own way. Because, like, well, we were more like mentors, not necessarily mothers.
Yeah.
In my, like, how I grew up in drag. So,
Yeah, it's definitely mentors. And it's like I always looked up to you because
thank you.
I remember we had mutual friends from your high school.
Uh-huh.
And I just always bragged. I'm like, oh my God, she can sing. Everyone listen to her sing. And I was that friend that's I'm like, sing for the people.
sing, Bucky, sing. All right, fine.
Yeah. And so you're known for your voices. You do the woman of 1,000 voices.
Yeah, sort of. That's what I fell into. And I guess it kind of comes naturally. But
Yeah.
I realized I'm slowly turning into Kathleen Turner, so that's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not.
Wait, Serial Mom.
Oh, I know. Actually,
Yeah.
I saw her give a talk not too long ago in New York. It was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, she was very, very front row. There she was, talking about everything, and very fascinating. Yeah, she was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of insight, actually.
Yeah, I love coming to New York, and you've put me in shows up there, and
Yeah.
people in New York know who I am because of you.
Oh,
and-
good.
yeah, I mean, you've helped me.
That's not the only reason.
yeah,
because-
it's not the only reason.
Well, no, I don't mean that. No, stop, maybe. But no, just because you put yourself out there and, you're working hard, and that's good.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I used to phone it in from the couch, and I built a substantial career from the couch.
Listen, I had to do it during COVID. I did.
Right. Yeah, I was practicing about 10 years before COVID.
Ahead of the curve.
Yeah, the moment
Yay.
everybody else had to lock down, I'm like, well, this is boring. I'm getting out. Let's go
I'm doing
live.
the opposite.
Let's go live. I hate it.
Oh, God. I know there were times during COVID where I thought, I could feasibly do this outside, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
No. Drag in broad daylight, especially on lockdown. I mean, I could have had a mask on. That would have saved a lot of. Never mind.
We did some COVID shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were fun.
They were fun. They were
Yeah.
silly. Because you know what? Especially during that period, people had to be creative
Yeah.
and reach out. Because we were literally, especially in New York, literally locked down.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
not leave
So
the house
different
kind of
than
thing.
in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
My life actually didn't change at all.
Oh, did the Cracker Barrel even close?
Yeah, oh, of course not.
Oh, figured. All right. Well, they've got to do something, I
Yeah.
guess.
I don't want to zoom in. I'm trying to get us. There we go. We're a little even
Oh, are we?
there in the camera. Now we're a little more even. Because
We're
I forgot
even.
we were sitting next to each other doing a show with Ariel.
Yes.
So if this comes out before Ariel, it'll be a race to who edits quickly. But
Ooh.
we'll also be on Ariel Isaac Norman,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
AI Norman on YouTube. So check her channel out as well.
Yeah, that was a fun little interview. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I've never done something just like that before, so it was kind of fun.
Yeah, she's so funny. She's very literary, and she actually tours and opens with Louis C.K. So
Oh, nice. Oh, good.
yeah. And we have our connection into the comedy world. Last night we went to a friend of yours show.
Yes, Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes.
I love Wanda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That
Keith,
was-
of course. But
Yeah, and Keith. I
we
mean,
love you, Keith Robinson, strokes and all.
It's all strokes.
No, he actually had strokes. I do not. Never get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah. No, and so it was, they had an opener, and then Keith opened, and then Wanda.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious show.
Yeah. Yeah,
Always
it
hilarious.
always is.
I was one of her best. I mean, she's always great. That was one of her best
Yeah.
that I've
and-
seen yet.
Yeah, and I've seen that tour a couple of times, and it's different every time.
Yeah.
But she just brings it 150%.
She does.
That's the way she is, though.
She is, and a lot of people don't know that about Wanda, is that she does a lot of behind the scenes. It's like, we know the Upshaws.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I tell comics, like well-established comics sometimes, and I'm like, well, Wanda, she executive produced Last Comic Standing, and they're like, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm
her
like,
and Paige
yeah.
Hurwitz do a lot of wonderful work.
Yeah. So it's always great, like, Fire Island to me,
Oh.
when you took me up there,
Yeah.
it was so daunting because there's people in the audience that you see on TV, and you're
Yeah.
performing, you're entertaining the people that are on the vacation relaxing.
Yeah, it's not necessarily pressure because I'm so used to it, but it always is a
course.
little nervous. I'm like, God, who's here?
Well, do you I mean, I always feel that way. It's like, but do you feel like first show of the season is so old hat now, or do you feel like the first show of the season you still get nervous?
I think we all do.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, especially at Cherry's, our first show is going to be May 3rd this year, and it's all the girls together. So
Oh,
it's
that's
a
good.
little bit of the pressure's off. But the first time you do a solo one, you never know. Because I've been out there so long, you have to kind of get the vibe of like, okay, what's this season going to be like? Because you can just tell at this point.
Yeah.
Like, is it going to be fun? Are they going to be, what's I always have to get my finger on the pulse,
Yeah.
especially on Fire Island, because I'm there solid 3 months. Because usually if I'm touring, it's a different story.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, every city's different, every audience is different. But out there, you have to adapt to them, which is fun to me.
I'm yawning. We were up late last night for us women of a certain age.
Yes. I'm 22. I don't know what she's talking about.
But yeah, Fire Island is a whole monster, and it's like I love the gay resort towns, and so you've made a huge career out about traveling
Yeah.
from Key West and to Palm Springs to Wilton Manor.
Yeah.
I mean, you were in the Velvet Circuit.
I'm like the reverse snowbird. I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's so
yeah.
weird. Yeah, it's been fun, but and that a lot of that just came out of Fire Island.
Yeah.
Because I just started there when I was a baby. And like Boy Dave said, come out, try it once, because I was just performing in the West Village.
Yeah.
And he's like, come out, try it once. And I loved it because it reminded me a little bit of Austin,
Oh,
like
of
Lake
course.
Austin, actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this is so much fun.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, I grew up in Corpus Christi, and it's not.
You get it.
It's the same. It's like I love a beach,
Mhm.
but the difference, I think, the first time I went to Fire Island, I remember, in my mind, I get there and it's like, I'm on beach time and we're drinking, we're having fun, and it's like, oh no, but it's like the
No.
entertainment is top brass. It's New York, Manhattan, the top of the top,
Yes.
performing. These are musical queens that sing and dance, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that was my first experience in like real, like cut your teeth drag.
Yeah, because it's not necessarily amateur out there.
Yeah.
I mean, we always have guest performers and stuff
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and especially people that haven't even tried it before. But out there, you kind of have to know your stuff, and
I was-
you have to work it. It's
Yeah.
like it's almost like not remotely like a Broadway schedule, but you're working several times a week and
Yeah.
you're doing other things, and you have to.
Well, that was what's so amazing. It's like,
Your show starts on time, kind
yeah,
of thing.
and exactly. And I learned that in Fire Island,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and when I go other places, when I do my show here in Austin, you know, at Cap City, it's like we start on time. I always start shows on time because of Fire Island.
Yeah.
Whereas other drag queens are always like, it's drag time. I'm like, no, bitch, they bought tickets. It's a different kind of.
Exactly.
I'm like, you're the bar clown they didn't buy tickets to, but at the same time, shows start on time.
Yeah.
You know, and like people come. What I've noticed about Fire Island is like they'll be across the street, that show's over, they come over and they fill that venue, and it's all
well, yeah,
about the
because once that
shows.
last ferry's gone, you don't have a lot of options
And
on the cruise ship that doesn't move.
I've
I
been
know.
there. I've been left. I ran down those boards because I think that was the first time I had been in 2017.
I think so.
And it was, yeah, I made the stupid mistake of trusting the MTA to get me to JFK, even though
Oh.
I made the ferry barely,
Mhm.
the slowed down train, and then I slept in the airport for 8 hours until the 6 p.m. flight because I missed the early.
Oh, that's right.
And so I was always like, yep, things start on time and run on time except the MTA.
That has been the general consensus about the MTA since
Yeah.
the dawn of man. So
Yeah, I
no
just
shock
think
there.
trains run on time. And I'm like, not unless
for the
Stalin
most
or
part, they're
Mussolini.
okay. But yeah, always plan a little bit extra.
Yeah. So that's a lot to get out there. And I'm glad to see like movies and stuff that have come out about Fire Island. There's been a big resurgence of it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's always packed and busy and fun, but there's a new blood.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
different kind of thing where
Yeah.
you're seeing things, and to watch the generations like come in. Like I've been there long enough where I can say that. God, I'm not old school, but I'm not new school. So I'm kind
Yeah.
of like I'm in the middle. I'm like the Jan Brady.
Yeah.
I really am. Like I'm the middle child. But to see new generations of people come in and everything's different, but it's still so much the same.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed. I mean, that was my first foray into gay resort towns. I guess when I know, because knowing you was the only way I knew about it,
Yeah.
and that was the first time I really realized that that's been happening for generations.
Yes, I
That-
know.
And even though you go and you're new, you're kind of taken in as somebody immediately.
Yes.
I mean, unless you
Mhm.
get crazy.
Yeah, especially in Cherry Grove. That is, it's one of the oldest gay towns on the planet.
Yeah.
And people have been going out there a very, very long time.
Yeah, it
and
is.
you meet people like Rose Levine in China who, Rita George, Charity, Charity is my sister, and she won Miss Fire Island in 1968.
Wow.
Pansy's doing the 50th invasion this year. Stuff
Oh,
like that. It's like,
wow.
and listen to them and talk to them because they've all seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've also seen how cyclical it can be. It's like, oh, okay, it's that kind of generation again. It's kind of fun to listen.
Yeah. Like I went to P-Town this year for the first time, and it's interesting comparing that community because cars were allowed.
Yes.
And like what I loved about Fire Island is there's no cars, and the deer come up to you, and the fox, and
Yep.
there's this magical element without cars because in Corpus Christi we had cars on the beach,
Yeah.
and so going to P-Town for the first time was unique for me, and getting to meet that community and seeing its history of people that have been there for 50,
Since the
60
Pilgrims.
years.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I did my show in PV, and it's like I've been to PV a lot, but going as a one-woman show entertainer, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Because every week you've got different people flying in, and you're trying to catch them. Those towns I love, but they're brutal.
They can be. Yeah, they can be.
Yeah,
I love
they're a
going
lot
in
of
and
fun.
going out, but Fire Island's like my staple in the summer, which is
Yeah.
nice because they come to you for once.
Yeah, and this last year, didn't you won Miss Fire Island?
Oh, that was 2 years ago.
Was that 2 years ago?
Yes, I am Ms. Fire Island 2023.
Oh, see, I'm so lost in the years because we're in 2025 now, and I keep saying like last
Well,
year,
we're
a year
barely
ago,
into 2025, so calm down.
It is a weird vibe. Ever since COVID, it's been a time warp,
Mhm.
and that has been a challenge. But like I remember when I built my house, I said, "Oh, I'm only going to live in it for a year or two, and I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go travel and do Fire Island, do all that."
Yeah.
And it's like, and then
And yet
COVID
here we are
hit.
in your kitchen.
I know.
I know.
And then COVID happened, and it's like, okay, well, I don't know if I want to go out there and do it. And then in the last 2 years, I've been out there doing it, but the time has gone so quick.
Yeah.
You know,
It does. It does.
Yeah.
And some people think, oh, it's age, it's this, it's that. No, maybe a little bit, but no, it's just the way life goes.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it's good that those spots are reviving. It's like, I know P-Town, it got so expensive, and it's like, oh, the houses aren't insured and things like that. But I'm like, the fact that there's young gay people going out and enjoying these and learning the history, and
Yes,
it's
a
so
lot of them are
important.
paying attention to it. Some are not.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, they're going for they're not paying attention to anything. They're not.
but no, they're looking for a sugar daddy. The gay version of generational wealth.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
It's so true, though.
And there's so many more now. Like, the gay community, we do have a lot of powerful, rich people in those communities.
Yes.
And I think that's great. I think gay people, we have to make kids. We have to choose kids, you know? And so they're not accidents that we're like, well, I don't get to pursue my dreams. It's like, oh, we're going to pursue our dreams and then have a kid when we're done.
Yeah. Yeah, they like planning.
Yeah. And now you're recently engaged
I am. Isn't that
Yeah.
weird? No, I think it's wonderful. But
to
yeah.
the sweetest man.
Yes, he is very, very sweet.
And where did
I'm
y'all
lucky.
y'all
We met
out
on Fire
there?
Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made fun of him during a show. Sorry. Yeah, and here we are 7 years later and
I
engaged.
can't believe it's been 7 years.
I can't either. And here we are. So, and it's so true. Was not looking for it.
Yeah.
Last thing on my mind.
Oh yeah. I probably need to delete Grinder then.
Never been on
It's
it.
like when you're looking, you're never gonna find it. It's true.
Yeah. I mean, if you're dating with a thumb.
Now, it's true. And putting the gay lens of everybody being so picky, it's never healthy. But that's a good organic way of meeting. And like, I've met him multiple times, and he's a very doting partner. And
He is. He's a very doting partner.
He's
And so am
supportive.
I. He's very
Yeah.
supportive. And it's just, it is what it is.
yeah,
And it's nice to have that freedom because, it's, as a female impersonator sometimes, drag queen, whatever we are, it can be difficult to meet someone.
of course.
You know.
Sometimes when you're hiding the wigs and trying to grow your beard out just enough for the.
I remember like when I was young, first starting out in the city, it was a stigma,
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Same. I mean, of course here too.
utter stigma.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're a what? I think, mm-hmm.
Oh, I never mention it still because the people of our age grew up that way. Younger people don't care. It's
They
like,
really don't.
yeah, they're
like,
all
okay.
like, and I find that great. I mean, it's like
Me too.
now I used to think anything feminine was gross, and that was me projecting. And now I see like
And here you are,
hot
nice
guy-
lashes.
Right.
I know.
I see hot guys with their nails painted. I'm like, ooh, and it's like, oh, times change. We evolve. We
Yes.
stop projecting. We embrace ourselves and our femininity. But no, like, yeah, I think I can't believe y'all been together 7 years. But now y'all are engaged.
Yes.
And I heard you say last night to Wanda, y'all are planning your wedding. Now, is that going to be
We are.
on the
We
beach
are.
of Fire Island?
Fire Island's going to be a part of it.
Okay.
And New England's going to be a part of it. So, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. We got engaged in Texas, right here in Austin. So
Oh, okay.
that's kind of like part of the incorporation.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's nice that he thinks about that stuff, and so do I.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. It's like one little small one and then Fire Island wedding because everybody wants to be there. Like that's so, it's heartwarming. It's flattering. I'm glad that my Fire Island family would be there to be part of it. And of course, Ariel Sinclair wants to be a flower girl. So
yeah.
I know. I don't have an option really. I really don't.
Yeah, she doesn't travel much, so
She
you get it.
doesn't, but it's the cutest thing in the world to see.
Yeah.
I highly recommend flying across the country with Ariel Sinclair. I do. I do. It's one of my favorite things now. Such a good vague memory.
I just buy plane tickets for her just to watch.
Oh, it's great. No, she can travel as a lap child. She's so tiny. Yep. Put her in the bassinet as long as she doesn't. As long as she doesn't. Sorry. Like, please don't call the flight attendant a whore. We'll get kicked off. Get back in your bassinet. Excuse me, can I get a mimosa for the baby?
They're like, you can't do bingo on the plane.
She'd find a way. Yeah. Actually, that'd be great. What better way to kill time flying over Arizona?
I know. They should just let Ariel do bingo on the plane.
X-ball up. You in 32A. Pipe down. You're on a window seat. Look out of it.
Yeah.
Say, Claire, I love you.
You know, it's like B12. Cyan cobalamin is also B12. It's like seat B32. Yeah, that would be fun.
32B. No, B32.
Yeah, there you go. See, I know you're a big aviation expert because you travel so much.
Yes. Yeah, I do love travel. But I've always loved traveling anyway, and I've always loved planes, even when I was a tiny child.
Yeah, that may be your tism.
Oh, my tism? But being an av geek?
Yeah, because mine was cars.
Yeah, I'll embrace it. What?
Yeah, mine was cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we didn't
You
really
liked wheels,
fly
I liked
anywhere.
wings.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I studied every Motor Trend magazine, and I had strict rules, and I was like, I'm not on the spectrum, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, you knew like the dual overhead cam of a Camaro 1996, and you could tell the car a mile away by the spotlight, by the headlight positions, and I'm like, oh yeah.
All right, calm down, Marissa Tomei.
I know, I'm like Rain Man over there with like Motor Trend. It's like, hello.
So what's your favorite car? And answer correctly.
You know, I've had every car now. What?
What is your favorite car?
The Tesla. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't have one. I hate them. What is my favorite car? You know, I have had every car.
It's on a silver platter, and she's not saying it.
Oh, what is it? Oh, a Porsche. Oh, God. See, I don't identify you as a Porsche.
I don't identify as a car either.
No, I mean, like, when you say that, it's like, oh, to me, it's just a name, and it wasn't clicking the car. I got it.
It's been a long day.
I got it. It has been a long day.
And we're back.
I think we started when the sun was coming up, and now the sun's going down.
That's okay, though.
It's okay. It happens a lot at our age.
Yes.
Days turn into weeks, and the weeks turn into months, and the months, they turn into elections.
Oh, so many of them.
But no, so I think we are planning a show in New York.
We are.
To be announced.
Yes.
At Stonewall Inn.
We'll be doing the Stonewall Inn. And, of course, you're coming back to Fire Island this year. So we just have to figure out those dates.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to Fire Island. I've been coming there since
you were a hit last year, too.
Yeah, I finally, that was my moment.
You hit your Fire Island stride.
Yeah, so it was always, I mean, I've been to visit, and then I've been to perform, and I would say one time was a nightmare because I was so nervous, and we started drinking at 10 a.m., so that was not a help. And then the second time, I didn't do comedy. I did some numbers, and then this last time,
laser focused on comedy.
Last year, I did my new comedy, my new set that was leading up to my big 1 hour special, and that was fun. Yeah. That was fun. I felt like
very well received.
Yeah, thank you for that opportunity because I felt like that was the opportunity I got to come back, and I always like to go fuck stuff up and lower the bar so much that anything you do after
but up.
Anywhere but up. Yeah. So and then I knocked it out of the park. So.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did. And that was a fun show. I remember that night vividly.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, McLean was there.
Yes, Jennifer McLean, the Pope of Gay South Florida.
Yes. And then I met some of her friends and PV on the circuit of the Velvet Circuit. Yep. Is it Lavender Circuit or Velvet? It's Velvet Circuit.
It's all of it.
I know, anything gay. The Rainbow Circuit, all of us
everything have to be a circuit.
All of the entertainers running around opposite of the circuit boys.
Pretty much, kinda. Yeah. Sometimes we, collide, but yes.
Yeah, and then the lesbians have their place.
Mm-hmm.
And Cherry Grove's a big lesbian spot.
Yeah, it's a big everybody spot.
It is. It's the bears, the lesbians, but it's a mixed crowd. It's more of and I don't ever put down the pretentious gays, but the Pines is something that
Pines is the Pines. It's his own animal.
I've never fit into the Pines crowd, wherever they be across the country, like that. Like in P-Town when you're trying to bark and you're like, stand-up comedy, blah, 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 and they just walk past you and ignore you. So then I would just be like
lemmings.
yeah, and I would just be like, free ketamine, and then they would get their attention.
Yeah.
And then the theater was like, you can't say that. The police will come here. And I'm like, well, do you have ketamine? I'm like, if they come and search for ketamine and find out I don't have any to give away for free, I think it's a
then I'll be in trouble.
It's in an open shut closed case. I could possibly be found false in advertising, but I mean, they can't.
Or in some circles, copyright infringement.
Yeah, but no. So I mean, you definitely have turned me on to that over the years of the. We did LA together.
That was fun.
We did DragCon. And and that's when I turned into Moulin Rouge and thought I had tuberculosis. Yeah, and I woke up coughing up blood, forgetting I had snorted a bunch of stuff that night. And yeah, I was like, well, I can't give everyone at the Staples Center TB. And
oh God,
drag.
Well, why not? They're just getting everybody measles now. Go ahead.
I know. And so,
oh, it's so trendy now. Let's bring back tuberculosis.
I know. Oh, I can't have TB with my new.
Oh, oh, the consumption is fun.
I'm aged past the TB survival rate, so.
Oh God, what's
But
that bump on your arm? No.
Right. That is a cigarette burn from my grandmother years ago. No.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's how I remember her. Some people get tattoos. I have a cigarette burn from when I was 6.
It's the memories that count.
It's smoking in the car with the windows up and then opening the window to throw it out and hitting you. That was that was how we were baptized.
Oh, there you go.
Baptism by Marlboro or Virginia Slims.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's definitely a Southern thing to be baptized by a cigarette. But no, I know.
I'm proud of it.
I always have to say that it's like I wanted you to come on the show and tell you how appreciative I am of our friendship. And
of course.
Yeah, you've just been, drag queens are catty bitches, and we all can be. But you've always held yourself to esteem of, you're not you go to work and you do a good job and you're there to use your talent as a vehicle. And I learned that only by you doing it, not by you saying it, and so that would be a good drag mother quality.
Oh, well, thank you. That's so sweet. But, it's like I'm not there for me. I'm there for them.
Yeah.
That's the way audience works, I think.
I had to learn that, because in the beginning it was for me to prove to me that I could do what I knew I could do and stick with it. And then there was that shift where I was kind of like, oh, I don't want to do this. And I don't want to go say the same jokes over. And I don't want to go do this show. And it's like, this isn't for you. This is for them to escape. Yeah, this is for them to have a break. Yeah. And it's like your breaks when the show's over.
Yeah, therein lies the joy too.
Yeah.
But honestly, I have to say I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I have watched you grow and grow and grow. And your hair grew.
Yeah, my hair did grow.
Not just the one on your back. No, but watch you grow as a comedian, as a performer, as everything. Yeah. It's wonderful to watch.
And you came in and saw me at Moon Tower, and that meant a lot. I don't have a lot of drag sisters that come see me or friends. And so it's like you've seen me there with Judy Gold, and you've seen me there with big names on my own, you know. And I said that, I don't know.
That's fucking awesome.
You being there and helping me got me through those shows, before I had the true confidence that I still lack.
Well, I'm glad I was a crutch for you. But yes, but that's the way it should be. I love encouraging other people and
I do
helping
too.
other people. If you don't do that, then what's the point of doing it for me?
Well,
But
there's a big problem in the drag community with that, where it's like, I've heard people be like, "Oh, she's always like liking and da da da." I'm like, but when I am liking someone's post and leaving comments, it's to feed your algorithms. And it's like I'm the only one doing it to your show flyer, not yours, but everyone,
yeah,
all these drag queens, because I'm like, I'm doing that not to kiss your ass. I'm doing that because I wish you would do that to me. I was raised treat people the way you want to be treated. And leaving that little comment or hearts or liking it and leaving a comment, it pushes it in the algorithm. The algorithm wants you to leave 5 words. So I'll type 5 words out and then someone just likes it. And I'm like, well, you're the one screwing your algorithm and I'm trying to help you. And so I'm always like, but when people don't do that for you, I don't care. It's just, I guess maybe I understood the algorithm early.
Yeah.
And it's like, those are
I still don't. So
that's a free way. You don't have to come to my show. You don't have to go do something. But like some queens, if you just support your sisters by liking and commenting on stuff and it pushes it out so the people in their area can see it and their followers, it's like, how did that hurt you?
it doesn't.
And it's like I've noticed the only ones that don't do it are the ones that talk shit. And then they don't want other people seeing that they're commenting, or the other ones, they're like, well, I don't want people to know. So I implore more people in arts, comedians and everybody else. We are all in it for ourselves, but like and comment on stuff. Like,
Takes 2 seconds out of your day.
yeah, and it helps their shows and it helps yours, and it didn't cost you anything.
No.
And you didn't have to show up to their shows. And it's like, yeah, go to shows, support your sisters, support the arts. And that's like comedy. The majority of my audience is straight women, and the comedy lovers of Austin, they go out to see comedy now, which is a whole new thing.
Yeah. It's nice to see
know.
how that entire community has grown.
I mean, and I guess I go back to that. It's the same thing with Fire Island, where it's like there are the circuit boys waiting for the underwear party, but then there are the people that they're there for the shows. So you've got your two crowds, but
It's true.
yeah. And building an audience is tough, especially this day and
is.
age.
It is. You can get 3 million followers in 2 days, but that's great. They're all virtual. You're not in front of them.
Yeah. And that's like when I was doing the TV show, I met with this other guy that randomly we filmed his house, and he was a reality star, and he was like, it's switched. Your audience is going to come from online. They buy your books. They come see your shows. They buy tickets. He's like, the people that watch you on TV want to watch you on TV. They don't get out and go see you. And I'm like, we grew up in a generation where it's like, oh yeah, those are your loyal audience and they'll come and that builds your audience. It just doesn't work as well anymore. That TikTok where you're invulnerable and you're just yourself in your shorts and a t-shirt, that's more than putting all the work in that we grew up understanding that needed to be done. And so it's still hard for me. It's like we're here at my studio filming, and it's like if we were just with an eyelash and a half a wig on talking, it's like they're going viral and making all this money. And so I'm not jealous or bitter. It is just people do want real now. They do want the authenticity. And so your audience shifts online versus where you have a built-in loyal 20-year plus New York.
Guess. Yeah, and it's nice to see new people come in and enjoy it too, which is, like, okay, thank you,
What the other question I want to ask you is like, when you left Austin to move to New York, like what did your family like go to New York and watch shows when you were younger?
Oh yeah. Do you go see Broadway shows and stuff like that? Not really, but only because I was in boys choir and touring around when I was young. So like I was always on stage, but they came to support that all the time. And, my mother loved theater to begin with. So
That's good. Yeah, that's what usually ends up lacking. That's what lacks. Because, like, my mother, I'm like, I want to be an actor. And she's like, you're going to end up selling your ass to old dirty men on the streets of Hollywood. And I'm like, I just feel like that's a missed opportunity now.
Yeah. Well, and it was never Hollywood.
It's true. It's true. It was the Valley.
Hey, you know what? The West Coast is the West Coast, darling.
That's true. But no, I wanted to thank you for coming.
Of course.
Last night was amazing.
Yeah, it was. I had such a blast.
And everybody can tell them where they can find you.
Actually, starting next week, Thursday and Friday, I am on Long Island, New York. Babylon Pride kicks off on Thursday, so that's the post office. Friday, I am at Sayville at Station Pub, and then the following Saturday, I am at the Birdcage Cabaret in Key West. Bourbon Street Pub on Sunday. Wednesday is the solo show at the Birdcage of that week in Key West, and then Thursday, Birdcage Key West. Friday, The Well in Fort Lauderdale. Saturday, a special fundraiser in Fort Lauderdale, and then back to New York.
I don't know how the
And
fuck
then
you
the
remember
following
that.
week, I am in Palm Springs,
I don't know how you
cutting up
remember
with my
all
sister
that.
Rusty Waters. You'll see all the ads.
I don't know how you remember all that. I'm always like, please give me a script. But you're a booked and busy bitch.
That's nice. And then next thing you know, Fire Island starts May 3rd.
Yeah. So get it all out. And then you're there. I mean, you stay on Fire Island until October, right?
Yep.
So you're there from May till October.
Mhm. That's true.
And I'll be
that's
there
a wonderful way to
in
do it.
late summer.
Yeah,
So
we'll see. You just let me know when.
I'll announce dates.
Yay.
I'll be on Fire Island. We'll be at Cherries. I'm announcing, and we're going to be at Stonewall.
We'll figure
And
that out.
you know where to find me here. So thank you all so much for staying tuned and like and subscribe to my channel.
Yay.